Get it, girl gang. What's good? Welcome back to the channel Stacks from Scratch, where we are taking this wealth thing way more serious than the world might think. We know that the wealth we're looking for has to be built one stack at a time. Let me ask you something. Have you ever left a meeting or a family gathering, maybe even a doctor's office visit, maybe even you was at the beauty shop, and you leave this location, you get into your car, and you start thinking to yourself, dang, I should have said something. I should have said this, I should have said that. But somehow the words don't come up until you get in the car or in the shower or about to go to sleep. Somehow all the right words start to show up at the wrong time. I mean, you cooking breakfast the next morning, all of a sudden you ready to give a TED talk to the eggs, just thinking about what you should have said yesterday. Girl, I don't know what happens. I could be thinking of the coolest, coldest comeback in America. And still I'm thinking about it after the conversation is 30 minutes over. Well, the conversation is over 30 minutes ago. So I want to talk to you, friend, and let's just explain this thing about communication and how it opens doors for us and closes doors on us as well. I did a video about this before here on Stacks from Scratch, but the audio is totally jacked up, so I'm going to redo it because this is such a prominent prompt to get you in the right lane with the communication game, okay? And then to think about it, when you leave these places, you think of what to say after you've left. Your homegirl call you, and she's like, "Girl, I would have told her." And you're like, man, I should have thought of that. Where was you 35 minutes ago?" Homegirl, I know, I do it too. So right quick, before we get into this spiel, I want you to sit up straight. Go ahead and straighten those shoulders up and take a deep breath in with me. Let it out and let those shoulders drop and relax. Oh, feel the weight come off their spine, the pressure come off their spine. Now imagine this. You walk into this room, the room is full. You don't know everybody. You don't have on the fanciest outfit. You don't even have the strongest personality in the room. But you walk into this room gracefully, and somehow people notice you. Not because you flirty or demanding attention or being seductive. No, because your presence is speaking and it's saying, I know who I am. This is a beautiful thing, a beautiful way to enter a room. And since you're here with me on Stacks from Scratch, I'm going to assume that you are walking into rooms, that you are on a mission right now in your life to become better at your finances, better at your harmony in your life, better at increasing things in value in your life. So I know that this video is going to add to your confidence. Get it, girl gang members. You know your way around here. So come on in, have a seat, pull up a chair, and let's get into it. We're not around here chasing money. What we're doing is increasing our value, even if it means learning some new ways to communicate what we have to say. And I think today's conversation is probably one of the most important conversations we can have, especially for a businesswoman or a woman in the world of work. See, most people have taught us and told us that the way to make more money is to work harder, get a second job. But I'm telling you, sometimes that might be true. But getting a better skill or upgrading the skills that you already had could bring you that promotion, can bring you that client, all because of how you introduce yourself, all because of how you spoke up for yourself. The coaching opportunities that lay in front of you, all because of how you speak and use your voice. And see, everything we want start with a conversation. Even a job start with an interview. You got to communicate. So let's talk about how we building partnerships, building relationships, starting by opening our mouths. And if you've been sitting on your wisdom, you've been sitting on your words, you've been scared you're gonna say the wrong thing. Look, sis, home girl, I know. But you still leaving money on the table when you don't speak up and speak out and say what it is that needs to be said. After I made parole, I was so lucky to be inducted into this group of motivational speakers, and I was allowed to get out there and speak to the critically at risk youth, going to different high schools, elementary schools, middle schools. And I was so blessed because I was not only able to reach the youth, I was reaching myself with my words, because every time I opened my mouth, another door opened. And I realized when I was doing this, these children are not looking for me to be perfect up here. They're not looking for me to be designer down up here. They just needed to know somebody's listening. They just needed to hear words of encouragement. And seeing them being encouraged and inspired to do and become what they needed to become was an inspiration to me. Because let's be honest, when you realize that somebody will never forget you because of something you said, it builds, it shows you your own authenticity. They're not looking for somebody who never been through something, and you can use your struggle and talk about your struggle, because that is how doors are going to open up for you. I'm not ashamed anymore to talk about, yeah, I've been to jail. This used to be something I declared I would hide forever. But now when I started choosing to speak up about it, I'm not just glorifying it, I'm giving you social awareness. This can happen to you, your mom, your sister, your child, your daughter. Some of the most powerful women you ever meet are going to be ones who raise their voices, and you're only going to meet them because they have raised their voice. They listen more than they talk, but when they finally speak, everybody leans in. It's just like when I was in the theater and my director told me I portrayed a mom of a young boy who his best friend for calling him the N word. And I was told to, when I scold him, to speak softly. I'm like, well, I thought I should be yelling, angry, curse. But what do you fear most? When your mama grab you, shake you, screaming, or when she grab you and whisper, "I'm gonna beat your tail when I get you to that house." It's that soft strength, Ladies, it's soft doesn't have to mean weak. I don't want y'all thinking that. We not weak, but we don't have to be the strongest person in the room. Just being secure in who you are. You don't have to prove yourself every 5 minutes with your words, but let the words show your skill. Change what you're saying in the meeting. I know when you get ready to speak up, it is so daunting. You get this fire in your belly, like, should I do it now? Should I interject now? Should I say something now? And when you finally say some words, it's the dumbest words that can come out of your mouth. Maybe you say, this might be a dumb idea, but I want you to switch it up. Let's get some new phrases on the belt. Instead of saying stupid stuff. Like, you know what? I could be wrong, but when you interject, give yourself credibility. Try saying something like, to interject, I have another perspective. I'd like to add something to that. You see the difference in that? And you don't have to become rude. This is an opportunity to show your soft side, your soft power, your soft strength. You're not being rude. You simply just not shrinking down anymore in the room, not ducking down for cover. And can we stop saying stupid stuff after we speak? This is important. After you've made your interjection, after you've said what you need to say, let let the silence fall. Let the silence be the period on the end of your phrase, because sometimes when we keep speaking after we made the point, We mess up the whole point by second guessing ourselves. Uh, my point was the book was very well written, if that makes sense. Can we stop saying if that makes sense? It made sense, baby, before it left your head. Give yourself credibility and own your words. Let your words fall to silence. And sometimes it feel like the silence is awkward, but it's not. It's giving them time to take in exactly what you mean by what you just said. It's also showing that you are confident in what you're saying, because a nervous person tends to keep rambling and rambling, trying to wrap it up with no success. So take a breath, smile, make eye contact, and let the words land, okay? Your confidence does not have to be backed up. Just let it whisper. And now today on Stacks from Scratch, can we just get a stack check? Now I'm starting to interject in my own video so that I can give you a word brought to you by Stacks from Scratch. And today's word is: your income often follows your ability to communicate with others. Say it out loud to yourself. Say it again. Keep reminding yourself that it's not always your personality, or it's not always because you're the most popular person on Instagram in the room, but sometimes your ability to say things brings the value that everyone is seeking. Everyone in the room is looking for that person who won't just stay quiet, whose voice is opening a door. Maybe it's at your job, maybe it's in your marriage, maybe it's at home with the children. Maybe your voice is needed more on YouTube. Maybe you need to speak up a little more and take some of those filters off. Maybe you need to be a coach. Maybe you got a destiny or calling on you to coach and help mentor people, young people, the youth, the girls. Maybe you need to start a podcast. I don't know, but a voice is good for these kind of things. A voice is good when you can write a book. Who knows? You could lead a ministry. But the fears just got you scared to hold the microphone. It's awkward, but the more you do it, the better your confidence builds. And the more experience you get, the more your voice starts to matter to yourself. And it's women that's praying and looking for answers that you already have inside of you. That's what makes the difference. So get it, girls. Here's your challenge for this week. And I'm going to wrap this thing up. I want you to use your voice, okay? I want you to raise your hand in a meeting. Raise your hand. Speak. Let me add something to that. I want you to introduce yourself to someone new. Hey, how you doing? My name's Latoya Slater. And it's that simple. I want you to apply for the position. Communicate through a resume. You know, apply for the position. I want you to record the video that you've been dreading to do. Communicate, use your voice on this video. Ask the questions that need to be asked so that you can present this video. Speak up. This is your challenge this week. Speak up one time this week in a position where you normally wouldn't have said nothing. Because your next opportunity, you never know. It might be waiting for your next sentence. Now, if this video blessed you any kind of way, make sure you like it, subscribe to the channel, share it with another woman who is learning how to stop being quiet and shrinking down, and learn how to start showing up, using her voice, strengthening her communication skills so she can open more doors and get some more coins on the table. And sis, remember, we're not chasing the coins, but we're a community of women who are building who we are. Every room to us is an opportunity. Every conversation we have is an opportunity. It's an interview almost. Every introduction to a new person is a seed, and you never know where the wind may blow your seeds. So plant them with confidence And I'll see you all on the next video right here on Stacks from Scratch.